Hello everyone, Ed with Slow Car Fix. I'm working on my 57 Chevy truck. I'm filling a giant hole in the floor and showcasing less than good metal skills. Certainly not what I'm capable of, but it's a floor pan. Stick with me and see me work through this mess.
Hey there, baby, sweet
It's the next day. I didn't talk to you much yesterday because I was working on that. And Richard was here picking up his car. I was out this morning for a little while, and now I'm working on the truck again. I want to try and knock this off because I'm looking forward to being able to get this in and putting the sound editing in. So this is just tacked into place. Obviously I was running out of gas there. So that's just tacked into place just so I can get a rough idea of the shape. I try to do it with some cardboard and stuff. I'm not real good at those template kind of things. I usually use paper, but it's a really weird kind of combination of things. This is going to bolt to the firewall. I'll put some of that foam stuff behind it. So I just need to make a piece that goes in between here on each side, and then I'll probably cut this one out and replace it or something. And then stitch this all together, and then I'll have to build little pieces for the side. It's way more complex than it needs to be. I hammered this all to the right curve that I wanted, shaped that, filled in the four-wheel drive selector hole, obviously cut my hole here, and then I have buried under this pile of dusty crap. By the way, these envelopes, be careful with this stuff. I threw out my, I'm positive I threw out my vacuum port for the back of the intake. It was in a little envelope like this that felt like nothing. So there's $17 gone. I had to order another one. So I've got this leather boot, and in here lives a trim ring of some sort that I'm gonna have to look at once I get something going on here. I have a cappuccino that I have to finish before I start grinding. I'll show you what's going on the other side. It's a little more empty over here now. Bug isn't here. It's gone to my buddy Greg's shop. We're going to put the engine and trans in over there. He has a 2-post lift and a trans jack. The 66 Corsa is gone, the green one. Yeah, everyone keeps asking me when's the guy coming to pick this up? I haven't sold this. This isn't going anywhere. This is my Secan car. It's staying. So anyways, I got to get back on this truck. I had the Malibu up for a little spin yesterday just down the road. It's working great. This LS stuff is super easy and reliable. There's a Mother's Day car show coming up. It's not far from my house. I'll probably take the Model A, so I got to get it going sometime. Lots of good fun. It's starting to be fun. But right now I have a giant mess, and I want this truck to be closer to being done, so I got to keep welding. Well, I've successfully made a mess, that's for sure. My ears are sore because my earplugs fell out. So, but I sort of have a plate here. Many pieces, because it's a bunch of complex shapes, and I don't really have the time or patience on this job for something that I'm going to cover up anyways, to be shrinking and stretching and all kinds of crap. So instead, I made it out of many pieces. Just fine. I rolled them on a slip roll, smoothed them best I could, and everything's tacked in place. It fits, as you can see. It's not exactly pretty, but it will be. I'm going to now take it off, final weld it all. Now that I know it fits, I had to beat on it in a few places to make sure that it contoured just the way I wanted it to. So now that I know that it fits, I'm going to remove it again, and I'm going to take it back over to the table and final weld it all, clean it all up, probably paint it, I guess, and then on it goes for all of eternity. So this is the air breather I'm using. It's actually the stock air breather from the Chevy Truck, this arm anyways. And then I put a 90-degree elbow on it, and then this Spectra filter after the MAF. It only has one pickup point that I found, and I thought about mounting it back to the rad, but the engine moves, right? And even though this is like rubber mounted here, the engine moves and this could rock and roll. I'd rather mount it to the engine, and then when the engine moves, this moves with it. So I'd like to pick it up off the head back here. So I'll probably knock a hole in this thing and put a bolt through it. If I take this elbow off, I can get right in there and access it. So I'm going to see what kind of thing I can do here, because what I need to do is keep it away from this breather, or this whatchamacallit deal, idler, that's it. And ideally keep it off the rad hose. You can see it's pretty close to the rad hose. So I kind of want it to be like, maybe like right there. Right there seems good. Hood clearance isn't really an issue on this thing because it's got a big giant hump in the hood, so it's kind of okay. I think the stock rad hose, well, this is the stock rad hose, but it would have went up and underneath this little indent and then over here. Mine's cut with the steam port and then reshaped a little bit, so so I'm gonna look at making something happen there. I don't know what. Ideally, I could just go right from this to this. That'd be handy. I wonder if I can get in there. I'll pull this breather off, this elbow off, and maybe I can see what I can access there. If I can get a bolt, if I can pop a hole here and actually get my mitts down in this thing, and then just run a straight piece right across, that would be real easy. Doesn't have to be hard. It does have to look presentable, but it doesn't have to be hard. Prefer it not to be hard. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Everything else is pretty good. It's got clearance around that. I can, like, if I think this looks stupid, I can, it's just a little bolty thing here. I can just take that off. So it doesn't look like I have a mount that's not attached to anything. Alright, so you can see floor pan, tunnel, cover, whatever is complete. I have to measure this and see if I can get a boot that's going to go over that. I have a boot, but I don't know if it's going to work. Maybe I'll try it and see. I put the kill mat around the edges. What I'll probably do, I might just put kill mat over top of the edges. Like I'm going to kill mat this, and I might kill mat just over the edge as like a one strip kind of thing, that if you are to remove this at some point for whatever reason, serviceability on the shifter or something to do with pulling the engine trans out, that you just have to take off this one strip all the way around and then undo the screws. I'll probably do that because I do want this sealed up the best I can. It's pretty good now, but I would like it sealed up a little better, and the only way to do that is to go over top of it. So I'm going to do the whole cover as it is, and then I'll just do like a strip. So then the whole floor is getting done, obviously, the whole floor, and probably this back wall, depending on how much material I've got. I've got a lot of stuff to cover, but it's not that big of a cab. Fortunately, all my holes are all now filled, except for a couple little odds and ends here and there that I'm going to fill with just some 3M strip caulk or something like that around some wire penetrations. I've got to do the radio wiring. I've got to do the cruise control switch, which I haven't really found a good option yet. I found one that's like the one I have in the Malibu, but it's kind of expensive and it's got a long lead time. So I'm still looking for a cruise control switch. I'm not sure whether it's going to be on here or down there on the dash. I've got a wire in the stupid line lock that I don't really care about, but it's already there, so I'll just wire it anyway. And my breather is done, and I don't think it's going to have any clearance issues because it didn't when I tried it before. And I don't think it's really changed, maybe up a little bit. You see I got clearance around my rad hose, I've got clearance from my belt, clearance from my lower rad hose, and it's pretty rigid, really. So it should be good. I think that's fine. I secured the wiring. It's a little longer than I'd like. I could have shortened it, but I'm feeling lazy, so I got a couple of things I got to do under here just to clean up. I still have to get some bigger wire loom to clean up over here. But that's under the hood is really getting close to being done. I did order another vacuum port for my brake booster because I am an idiot and threw that out. I have a couple of things to do underneath. I have to cut off some of the exhaust so I can bolt it up and secure it to take it to the exhaust shop on a trailer, of course. I have to bolt in my trans cross member. It's just kind of sitting there right now, so I got to throw some bolts in it. It's not a big deal. Finished putting coolant in it. Yeah, it's really getting down to details. I do the radio install, and then it's sound deadening and interior. It's getting near finish. My pile of crap is less. This box here is pretty much all sound deadening. That's my boot that I have, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use that one or another type. This is pretty much all sound deadening. The intake cover. Oh, my coilovers are in there. I'm replacing not my springs for my coilovers. I'm replacing the springs for my coilovers. Going with a heavier spring in the front because this is a Camaro front clip, and I got a 4-link in the back. And I've got the coilovers from Alda and American that came with the 4-link. And then in the front, I got Camaro coilovers that are good for the 78 Camaro front clip, but they're not good for having this sheet metal hanging off of it. It sits real low, doesn't have a lot of travel. So I went to the big block springs for it and got some little shims that they sent, and thrust bearing plates, and to give it a little more, probably not any more height for ride, but more travel for sure, because there kind of isn't really much right now. I don't know that this engine weighs any more than the 350 Chevy that I had in there. The trans seems quite a bit bigger, but I don't know that the engine actually weighs any more, considering this has aluminum heads and cast iron block, and the other one was all cast iron, but I don't think it makes much difference. Anyway, so that's what where I'm at with this for now. I'm gonna end it here. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for sticking with me on this build. Not sure how interesting this video will be, but I'm at the exciting part for me where I can just sort of sort out the loose ends, small details, and take it to get the exhaust connected from the LS manifolds to the custom dual exhaust that's on it. And then really it's into shakedown. Drive it a bunch. Typical fashion, you drive a small radius around your home, somewhere where it's easy to get back. Go bigger, 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 bigger. I shouldn't have any issues with the truck, with the engine, I should say, the truck engine, because it is a used engine that was running in the vehicle that it was in, and it was used regularly. And so I'm not anticipating now that if I was going to have any problems with it, I would have had it by now when I fired it up after screwing with the oil pan. I shouldn't have any issues with the powertrain. The only issues that I may have are just some shakedown stuff from all the work I've done. If I missed a bracket or missed something's rubbing on something, or you know, little things like that. Been pretty good about the attention to detail on this build, but yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. Got a big road trip planned for this truck in the summer, so I have some sorting to do between now and then. Thanks for watching. Please check out my other videos. If you like what I'm working on, you want to see some more of my cars and crap that I got kicking around here, please subscribe to the channel. It's a growing community. It's a pretty tight-knit community, actually. So thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.